Hey, it's Jack, been here on Mission Reloaded Gaming, and we're here with Magic Car. I just wanted to point out that he actually has started his own YouTube channel. If you wish to go check it out, he'll be putting a lot of his EVO stuff on there here shortly.
This is a Lucifer Class heavy cruiser. Yeah, okay, so Steam Workshop says Lucifer Class is the third, somewhat of a hero ship introduced in our universe. However, this time instead of being a single specific ship, it's an entire class of ships. So, lore. During the later years of the Great Galactic War, there were numerous top-secret military projects funded by the Empire, and this one was called Project 67 HC3F. Now, it stands for 67th Recorded Imperial Project, Heavy Cruiser 3rd Class Design F, which means it's a heavy cruiser, HC. The 3 stands for that it's a third heavy cruiser designed by the Empire, the first two being the Conqueror and the Equalizer, and Design F, which means that it's like the 5th or 6th design for the class. Was a project with the main goal of designing the most effective warship to be classified as a cruiser. Combining strengths of Equalizer and Conqueror classes, the ship design F of Project HC3, once again meaning the third heavy cruiser project, was selected for production. The ship was classified as a Lucifer class and featured noticeably different design and exterior compared to most prior Imperial warships, because obviously, as you can see, it is not a Star Destroyer shape. It like the side wings, so to say, somewhat resemble that shape, but there is a lot more to it. It possessed very efficient weapon systems, also high levels of maneuverability and speed, which is kind of uncharacteristical for Imperial ships. Its AA defenses are basically a no-fly zone. However, it had no strike craft hangars or docking bays, and it had a large missile silo on the front of the ship. So only 17 ships of this class were ever produced because they have a very high build cost, and as well as the Great Galactic War coming to an end just about a year after the ships entered production. So they're a very rare sight, and most of the ships were actually lost at the Battle of the Liosos Ring, with only about, I think, where I wrote or thought about that 3 ships survived the war, only later to be eventually lost to the combat against the rebellion. So, specifications, it's 207 meters long, 55 meters wide and 37 meters tall. So interestingly enough, this thing classified as a heavy cruiser is actually larger than the Vortiger, which is classified as a super cruiser. So it's armed with 30 L2R1 dual laser cannons, which is a very good amount, considering the Lacerator, the battle cruiser, has like 44, so this thing has 14 less, but it's over 100 meters, actually no, it's about 70 meters shorter, so it's onto the teeth. It also has 6 triple laser cannons, the same one that are on the Conqueror and the Vortiger. It's got 22 single point defense guns, which means that this ship is pretty much invulnerable to strike craft assaults unless it's like multiple squadrons at once. So, I mean, not like strike craft are pretty like any effective against larger ships anyway. So, and it also has a missile silo in the front, which holds like 16 missiles, which of course don't work in game. You can make your way to the front of the ship if you want to look at it, which looks. I think it turned out pretty cool the way it looked, and even
ship,
yeah, and also another cool little, not to mention it, not to call it an Easter egg, but I actually like built like individual missiles themselves inside this entire area. So if you go in just a bit below, dip a bit below now, there, those are supposed to be like the missile bays for when the silo fired, but those are just for, you know, aesthetics. My English is shit now. and so it's fairly durable. It's got 7 million HP, so it's about an Equalizer, and 2.2 million shield HP. It had a top speed of 40 meters per second, very good acceleration, and a 6 degree per second turn time. So in general, it was probably one of the most effective ships classified as a heavy cruiser, or as a cruiser in general, not just by the Empire, but in general. So yeah, next up, you can make your way to the big boy. while I find where it is.